Governor Steve Bullock just finished talking to the media to announce several new efforts over the coronavirus. Plus, tonight, the state announces changes for driver licensing and motor vehicle services. Hear what agencies are planning in a live report.
Dramatic new changes, not only in how to stop the spread of the virus, but also keep money in Americans' pockets. I'm Scott Duman in Washington with the emergency action.
Plus, white people in one Washington state county are complaining they can't get tested for coronavirus. The news at 5 starts now.
NBC Montana News at 5 starts right now.
Governor Steve Bullock is addressing the media right now in a press call to announce several new efforts over the coronavirus. Tonight at 6, we'll bring you a live update and tell you what he said. Right now, there are still 9 cases for the state of Montana, 8 cases in the state. The other one is the Montana woman who tested positive in Maryland. Here's a map of all the counties with confirmed cases. There are 3 cases in Missoula County, 2 in Yellowstone County, and just 1 case in Butte-Silver Bow, Gallatin County, and Lewis and Clark County. We told you first online when Lake County and the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes declared a state of emergency. We go to Madison Donor, who is live with details on what that means. Madison.
Good evening, Laurel. And since Steve Bullock announced the state of emergency on March 12th, counties across the state have announced a public health emergency, including Missoula. Now, what this means is that they could keep track of their expenses and then ask the feds for possible reimbursement. Today, Lake County declared a public health emergency. So did the Confederated Salish and Kootenai Tribal Council. Their proclamation is confined within the Flathead Indian Reservation. Butte-Silver Bow announced a state of emergency yesterday. For them, that means all bars, restaurants, casinos, breweries, distilleries, and gyms are closed. Missoula County followed suit. Missoula County Commissioner Josh Slotnick approved verbally a proclamation, but the board has to sign it either tomorrow or Thursday. Governor Bullock says not to panic, but to plan. We will continue to track the outbreak throughout our state. Be sure to stay with us on air and online for the latest information at NBCMontana.com. Live in Missoula, I'm Madison Donor, NBC Montana.
All right, thanks, Madison. Senator Jon Tester told the U.S. Senate today it's time to immediately approve the House's coronavirus plan. The deal includes free testing for Montanans, unemployment insurance, and funds for veterans. It also included $250 million for meals for seniors at home and school lunch money for low-income children left at home by school closures. Tester slammed Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for sending the Senate home before members took a vote.
On the farm, when there's work to be done, especially when it's time-sensitive work, you don't take a break. You get the job done. I call on my colleagues not to waste another moment, to hold the vote, and get the job done.
But Republican leaders say the senator is wrong. The House just voted last night and McConnell didn't delay anything. Part of the measure would also include millions in funding for Indian health services. Drastic new steps were announced today by the White House in an effort to keep Americans healthy, but also financially afloat. That includes sending out money and deferring tax payments if need be. They also unveiled a new way for people to get medical consultations without leaving the House. Scott Thuman brings us up to speed from Washington.
In a sign of growing concern of a teetering economy, the White House Tuesday announced its plans to get money directly into people's hands fast.
We're looking at sending checks to Americans immediately. Many companies have now shut down, whether it's bars or restaurants. Americans need cash now, and the president wants to get cash now. And I mean now, in the next 2 weeks.
Though an exact dollar figure still being worked out, and those considered well off likely wouldn't get checks. Meanwhile, Americans can delay paying their taxes this year, but not all should, since many would get refunds that could come in handy. The president is also working with fast food executives to widely expand their drive-through services so more people can order on an app and then safely pick up meals.
One day we'll be standing possibly up here, we'll say, well, we won, and we're going to say that. Sure as you're sitting there, we're going to say that.
And the White House now opening up telehealth to all Medicare patients, not just seniors living in rural parts of the country, so they can get doctor's consultations without leaving the house.
Let's say you're a diabetic patient. You don't have the coronavirus. You're not even showing any symptoms, but you can call your doctor and have your visit. That way you're not traveling. You're not sitting in a waiting room where there's other sick people.
And Congress now working on a third stimulus package, this one close to $1 trillion of relief, some of it to help airlines and other suffering industries. Here at the Department of Health and Human Services, again, more worry about younger Americans, that many of these emergency actions could be undermined if they don't heed social distancing and these new guidelines. In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
Meantime, U.S. Senator Steve Daines says he's pushing to protect Montana small businesses, working families, and first responders. That's why he's proposing a tax relief payment of just over 7.5% for workers and small businesses. The proposal also calls to suspend SBA loans for 3 months. Daines is also asking for $1,000 for first responders and healthcare workers. Here are some specifics. The tax relief payment would total 7.65% of 6 months of salary. For the average Montanan, that would total just over $1,600. Employers with less than 10 workers would also get a credit. It would go as high as $16,000. More closures are in effect locally and across the country today to try to slow the spread of coronavirus. Effective today, today at 6:30, AMC theater locations in the country will close for at least 6 to 12 weeks. This in compliance with local, state, and federal directives, and as a precaution to help ensure health and safety of guests and theater staff as well. There are 5 AMC theaters in the state of Montana, 2 in Missoula, 2 in Billings, and 1 in Great Falls. AMC Stubbs A-List memberships will be paused automatically during the time the theaters are closed. They will continue to monitor the situation closely. The Missoula Art Museum will be closed to the public through April 6th following community and statewide efforts to slow the spread of COVID-19. Offices will close today through the 23rd. Public programming is also closed through May 2nd. The museum will continue to communicate with the public and share exhibits through social media and their website. Another ski area is suspending operations due to the coronavirus outbreak. Blacktail Mountain Ski Area doesn't know how long this policy will be in place. It's undecided if they will reopen for the ski season. The ski area still encourages folks to enjoy Montana's great outdoors. They will continue to allow skiing on their slopes by skinning. Government officials across the country continue to urge people to practice social distancing. In fact, the Montana Motor Vehicle Division announced changes. NBC Montana's Olivia Iverson joins us live with more on what Montanans can expect. Olivia.
Good evening, Laurel. The DMV is known for long lines and crowds, but right now health officials are encouraging people to either stay at home or avoid large crowds. And here at the DMV, they're doing what they can to help. In fact, you can't even go through these doors. They have you hand over the paperwork and then wait in this lobby. Plus, there's a sign right here encouraging people to stay 6 feet away from other customers. And it doesn't stop there. One of the other options that they are considering is having people check in, go to their car, and then you'll be called back in once your appointment is ready. Plus, they are also having people remove some of the chairs in these lobbies to discourage those crowds. But with health officials advising you to stay at home, what if your driver's license is about to expire? Today, Attorney General Tim Fox said they're working to extend a deadline to renew it.
For all driver's licenses due to expire in March, April, or May of 2020, my staff and I are working with the governor's office on the possibility of an executive order extending the renewal deadline by 90 days. This step may be possible under the governor's authority to temporarily suspend certain statutes and regulations during a declared emergency.
However, Fox did note today that with an expired license, even if they do implement these changes, you could still be cited by law enforcement in other states. The Motor Vehicles Office is also making a few other changes. That includes canceling all Class D driver's tests, and they are moving one of their offices in Helena. Plus, Fox today is also reminding people if you need to renew your vehicle registration, you can always do that online. Reporting live in Missoula, Olivia Iverson, NBC Montana.
Thanks, Olivia. Again, make sure to stay with us on air and online as we continue to monitor the spread of the coronavirus. We'll continue our coverage and bring you any new updates. We've got a special tab at the top of our website, NBCMontana.com. Coming up, the latest information on cleanup in northwest Montana after strong winds toppled